Welcome to the first episode of Live All In with Anthony Perez. I'm a life insurance agent, and 6 months ago, I got into this industry building from the ground up, learning the ins and outs of the business in real time. And honestly, this feels surreal even sitting here recording this. This podcast has just been on my mind for a while now because these last 6 months have just completely changed my mind. Just 6 months ago, I had no idea my life would even look like this. I was simply just trying to figure out this new industry. And I think that's why I wanted this first episode to feel real, not polished or fake motivation. I simply just wanted to tell the truth about what these last 6 months looked like for me. And you know what's crazy is just that honestly, most people only see the highlights. Unfortunately, they don't see, the grind. They only see somebody posting their wins, their checks, they posting what the lifestyle could be, but they never even show what the process looks like. Those uncomfortable mornings, the rejection, can be self-doubt, those long drives, the calls, but no one's answering. That's the part nobody really talks about. You see, before insurance, I was doing solar sales for about 5 months. And I'm grateful for it because it taught me a lot. But honestly, I hated how reactive my life just felt. The leads were all over Southwest Florida. I had no control over where I was going to be at what time. I just showed up. There was no real structure or ownership of my own time. It felt like I was constantly chasing the day instead of controlling it. And mentally, that started to feel draining for me. You know, some days I'd spend more time in the car going to appointments than even at the appointment sitting down with them itself. Even though I was able to succeed in the industry and sell over 18 systems a month, I just knew it was something I couldn't see myself in long term. Then late 2025, I was blessed that I got introduced into the insurance industry. And honestly, at first, I didn't fully understand how big this opportunity really was for me. I just knew one thing. I was tired of thinking small. And I think that's the moment everything started to really change for me. It was more of a mindset because I stopped looking at jobs and I started to look at building an actual future, building something towards, all my work, what it was leading up to. And that's really where the name Live All In comes in from. It's not YOLO, it's not reckless living, but it's living intentionally. Going all in, becoming the best version of yourself, going all in on your faith, your business, your family, no matter what your beliefs are. One scripture that really draws to my attention and was actually what motivated me to name it Live All In is Colossians 3:23. It says, whatever you do your work heartily as for the Lord rather than for man. And you see, that verse really hits me hard because it reminds me, whatever I do, whether it's building a team, whether I'm with my family, whether no matter what it is, working in the field, any part of my life, no matter the situation, I'm going all in. I'm going to give it everything I got. And so now my daily routine, I'm typically up at 7 a.m. and I wake up and get my mind right first. That's just truly important to me because this industry, more than anything, is just mental. And I pray, I ask for strength for this day. I ask for clarity, discipline, patience, and I get the blessing of being able to kiss my wife goodbye and hang out with my son before I go. By 8 a.m., I start making calls, following up with my clients, reaching out to people, setting appointments. And then from there, I'm typically out in the field from 10 to 4. Some days I'm training a new agent that's first time out in the field or just jumping on board with us. Some days I'm knocking doors, cold door knocking by myself. Some days I'm driving from city to city, working on policies that have lapsed. Some days I'm sitting at kitchen tables with families, simply just trying to help them understand what protection actually means for them. And let me tell you something, you know, door knocking will change you mentally. Uh, People think the hard part is just learning the products. It's not. The hard part is simply becoming confident enough to walk up to a stranger's house, knock on their door, smile, and hold a conversation. The hardest part is hearing no 5 times in a row and still keeping your energy positive. The harder part is staying disciplined when no one at all is forcing you to work. But you see, that's where actual growth happens. And slowly, things started clicking. I got better at communicating, better at listening, and better at understanding people. I stopped trying to sound like a simple salesperson and started to focus on how to actually help people. And that changed everything. You see, over these last 6 months, I've been blessed to write over 100 insurance policies, and I've been able to write annuities, do presentations in retirement facilities, build relationships, build systems, and even start building my own team myself. And honestly, none of that happens if I didn't believe in myself to start. And one thing I really want to talk about, because you don't hear about it enough when you look into this industry, when you're going on YouTube and you're looking up insurance agents, not enough people actually talk about chargebacks. A lot of insurance agents just treat this business like it's just fast money, a bank they can borrow from. But this is a real business. And if you want it to last, you have to do right by people. You have to do right by putting clients into the policies that they can even afford. You have to explain things properly. You have to care more about the family than just simply getting a commission. Because if people don't understand what they actually bought, they cancel. And honestly, that's why integrity matters so much in this business. I simply just want to explain what actually the two terms are, and it's whole life versus term, the differences between the two. Because a lot of insurance agents just simply overcomplicate it, or they don't know fully about the product. Whole life, it's simple. Whole life, just like it's written here, is permanent coverage, builds cash value, and term, simple. It's short for terminate. Terminates after a certain amount of years. Can be 10 years, 20, or 30 years, etc. And depending on what it is that you're selling, if you're doing mortgage protection for a term, they can have decreasing face amounts. In reality, neither one is bad, but it's about fitting the right person into the right product. One analogy when I talk about it with clients, I always use I compare it to cars. You see the young 20-year-old driving the loud Mustang going 20 over, driving carelessly, doesn't matter. Then later in life, they might move into like an SUV, a family car, as responsibilities build up from there, something safer that fits their current lifestyle. Insurance is no different. It's the same way, in fact, because different products fit different people. If somebody's trying to protect a mortgage for 20 to 30 years, term might make the most amount of sense. If somebody's older and worried about their final expenses and just wants peace of mind, whole life might make more sense. The goal isn't to sell. The goal is to educate. I tell people, or I actually learned this in the industry, but I tell people all the time, I don't sell anything. I provide good information, and what they decide to do with it is up to them. And one thing that changed everything for me was just being around the right people. I became part of a national team that actually supports one another, people that answer the phone no matter the time, people that mentor you, and they just want to actually see you succeed. And that matters more than people realize, because the right environment can completely change your confidence. And so that's really why I wanted to make this podcast. It wasn't to create some sort of fake hype, create a fake vision that my life is perfect or that the insurance lifestyle is perfect, but to show people what actually happens when you're trying to build something worth living. And the good days, the bad days, the growth, the mindset, the process, we're going to talk about it all during this podcast. The objection handling, the mindset it goes into it, the discipline, mortgage protection, final expense, living benefits, whole life policies term, just like we discussed earlier, IULs, different sorts of leadership, and just being able to communicate better, and how to really grow in this industry that may throw you into the wolves at times. And so if you're somebody that's just curious about getting into the industry, I'd genuinely be happy to hop on a Zoom with you and answer any questions that you may have. There's no pressure, no fake courses or weird pyramid schemes. I'm not trying to make you do anything other than what the state requires upon you, which is getting your state license. But from there, you get the full mentorship, support, and people that actually want to help you and see you grow in this industry. And if you want to learn more, just look into Retirement Income Life or DM me and comment all in. And if it fits your life, awesome. But at the end of the day, I am still building. I am still growing as a person, and I am still learning more than all. But one thing I do know for sure is that within these last couple months, my mentality has completely changed. And that's what I want this podcast to be mainly about, the journey along the way. So if this episode connected with you, subscribe, share it with your friends, family members, anyone that may be interested, and comment all in. And let's keep building together. This is Live All In with Anthony Perez. Let's live all in.